Welcome back to some more Umineko when they cry. Oh boy. So where we last left off, other than, Erica coming off as a complete petty child, you know. I mean, the rest of it is just this whole romance buildup between George and Shannon. It feels like it's like the same thing, like the last episode, or was it episode? It feels like there's the same thing, but there's like a different. And then it talks about George's backstory of the such, where he was. Although it feels like more awkward of the such, like like he's jealous of Battler and Jessica, or how they're comfortable with uh, s- starting out conversations with others and such, and there's that. I mean, other than that, it's just at least there's a bit of like sort of a progression to it. Although like Erica was not a fan of that. I guess when you're right, when you're right, Erica is like really like extreme pessimistic at the extreme, and then you know, I mean, she is an antagonist after all. I mean, this is just her. This is how you write her to be like true hatred of the such. Oh boy, I mean, what do we even got in store today? Anyway, let's continue. Kumasawa had the rest of the night off, so she had let Erica talk her into drinking a bit, and was chatting about the legend of Akujikishima and Beatrice in a happy, tipsy mood. Erica would nod from time to time, but besides this, she listened in complete silence. She wasn't a, she wasn't actually taking notes, but she was gathering information on a whiteboard inside her head. Then she frowned as though noticing something out of place and held up her hand.
ちょっとストップを。
はい。
その鎮守の社は悪食島の悪霊を封じるために旅の修験者が建立した。そうでしたね。
ええ、そうでございます。強い神通力をお持ちだったということで、その力を鏡に込め、
Within the mirror,
霊境として社に奉納し悪霊を封印した。少し違和感を覚えます。悪食島の悪霊を封印する社がどうしてベアトリーチェも封印するんです？
はあ。
well,
それはその霊境の神通力が。
なるほど。東洋の悪霊も西洋の魔女も OK の便利な霊境だったからというわけですか。わかりました。すっきりはしませんが、そこは折れることにしましょう。しかし、どうしてベアトリーチェが蜘蛛の巣も嫌うのかわかりません。
according to the legend, the evil spirits Akujikishima despised spiderwebs, so they were apparently used as wards against evil in the surrounding islands. In fact, spiders are a useful bug. There's nothing strange about the fact that island farmers had treasured them. Island farmers treasure spiders? That's crazy. It's very possible that they were then tied to the story of evil spirits and became known as charms against evil, leading to a tradition of people treating this useful bug with care through the generations.
しかしそれ、悪食島伝説の話です。そもそもベアトリーチェの魔女伝説の発祥は、この島に引っ越してきた後宮金蔵が ミステリアスな黄金伝説とそれを授けた魔女という名の愛人を吹聴してから始まったものです。
I see.
つまり悪食島の悪霊と黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェは本来全く異なる存在のはずなんです。
Originally completely different things.
なのに設定が同じになっています。
So So the evil spirits are similar to witches? Is that how it goes? Look, I don't know anything about spiritual beings when it comes to the Eastern tradition, so you know.
さてはて。
Episode 2, when they discussed it, is like, oh, Beatrice is evil. The root of all evil. The evil spirits of Akujikishima can stand spiderwebs. Well, that's the thing, though, because if anything, witches are like butterflies. So maybe the evil spirits are just butterflies? I don't know. So neither could Beatrice. That sort of reasoning has been applied all over the place. When it was pointed out that this was strange, Kumasawa was lost for an answer.
金蔵さんの書斎のドアノブはサソリの魔法陣が描かれていて、それは西洋魔術では魔除けを意味する。だから西洋魔女のベアトリーチェはドアノブに触れられない。
You must not touch that door.
これは理解できるんです。
Yeah, bit of something in episode 2.
でもクモの巣に限ってはベアトリーチェが嫌う理由がありません。
Well, I mean, anyone can dislike spiders.
私の知る限りでも西洋魔女の苦手なものにクモの巣があったという記憶はありません。むしろクモは魔女の仲間や眷属では？
はあ。
思うに悪食島伝説の悪霊と魔女伝説のベアトリーチェ、この2つの異なる伝説が少し混交しているように思います。いいえ、混交どころか融合かもしれません。悪食島伝説は六軒島周辺の暗礁を恐れた漁民たちが生み出したおとぎ話。しかし悪食島に住まう悪霊なる者には具体的なビジュアルイメージが伴っていませんでした。人なのか怪物なのか、はたまた足のない幽霊なのか、さっぱりイメージがありません。人はビジュアルを伴わない空想を苦手とします。
I'm pretty sure I can just look up the legend of the Akujikishima spirits or something, but I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, there's usually no, like, certain visual of it.
そこにベアトリーチェという魔女の伝説が登場した。
So Wait hang on. You and your fucking lore dump. Evil spirits of... Okay, so if it says evil spirits Akujikishima, and then there's Golden Witch Beatrice, aren't these two separate? But they're apparently for those certain characters they are similar of the two. So it's just what? Okay.
悪霊よりは魔女の方が想像しやすい存在です。 しかもその上、金蔵さんはベアトリーチェの肖像画を描かせ掲示しました。
Yeah, because witch is a noun. You describe of a person that you can picture in your head. Like, if anything, with the evil spirits, you can't really, like, picture an evil spirit unless you, like, imagine it.
つまり、悪事島伝説の一番の弱点、たたる悪霊のビジュアルイメージが初めて保管されたわけです。そこからいつの間にか2つの伝説が混じり合っていってしまったのではないでしょうか。
Mixed together? That sounds like one legend is a cover-up, and it sounds like Golden Witch Beatrice sounds more of a cover-up to the other.
どうでございましょうね。この老いぼれには少し難しい話にございます。
Kumasawa laughed to smooth it over, wiping away a cold sweat. She might have seemed confused, but she actually did understand what Erica was saying. In truth, she had been vaguely aware of how the legend of Akujikishima, which had been around before Ushiryomiya Kinzo had come to Rokujima, and the legend of the Golden Witch, the story of the woman who had given Kinzo a vast quantity of gold, had both transformed. She didn't want to acknowledge it, but she knew. The setting, quote-unquote, where Beatrice hated the spirit mirror and spiderwebs. This had been based on the ancient legend of Akujikishima. The evil spirits part, quote-unquote, part of that legend had just been replaced by the witch of the portrait.
もし黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェを自称する人物がいたとして、彼女が本当に雲の巣を嫌うのかどうか、ぜひ聞いてみたいものです。触れるとどうなるんでしたっけ。
魔女の眷属は雲の巣に触れるとやけどを負うそうですから、多分そうなるんじゃないかと。
What? I mean, I thought if they touch spiderwebs, then they just get caught. I didn't know. I didn't know a simple spiderweb can burn them just like that.
いいじゃないですか、それ。見事な魔女裁判です。雲の巣に触れてやけどするならば、それは悪霊の方であって魔女ではない。そして触れても何も起こらないのであれば、ただの人間であることの証。つまりやけどしようがしなかろうが、黄金の魔女など存在しないという証になります。魔女伝説なんて所詮悪事島伝説が装いを変えただけの焼き直しに過ぎないのです。
はあ。
Well,
ただ伝説がそこにあるだけで、フルドエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがです、皆様方。
what do you think, everyone? There's no one in this room except you two. What do you mean, everyone? So only the two of them were in the lounge. Erica faced in the direction of an invisible audience would have been. Invisible audience. Is that including me? I mean, sure, I guess. And shrugged. And just as Erica imagined, the targets of her comments actually were there, listening in.
雲の巣ですか。触れるとやけどを。
Oh, well, then I guess the invisible audience referring to, it's either Beatrice or fucking, Is Angie also reading that? Is Angie also the reader too? Listening to that as well? When Beato the Elder snapped her fingers, a graceful silver spider slipped down from the ceiling, hanging by a transparent thread. Afterwards, only a single silver strand remained.
えっと
Timidly, Beato stretched her finger out towards the spider's string. Then she touched it.
平気です。
平気なのか。
Beato the Elder lifted up a white, pale finger, and after showing it to her little sister, she traced the silver string with it. There was a stench like a single hair being burnt. Once again, she held her finger up in front of Beato and was stunned. There was a thin, burned line as though someone had traced across it with a razor.
これはどういうことですか？
わらわが聞きたい。どうしてそなたは平気なのか。
わかりません。むしろ逆にどうしてお姉様が蜘蛛の巣に触れるとやけどをするのかわかりません。
That's crazy, you know? So we have the elder Beato that do get affected by the spider web. But the chick Beato doesn't get affected by it. Even though she's a spirited figure. Maybe this is what I think of Chick Beato. So if Chick Beato does not get affected by it, but does this mean that she also has some sort of immunity to it because of it has like the innocent human emotion to it? Where that happened? I don't know.
わからぬ。
I don't know either.
わらわが自らの存在を意識した時からそういうことになっていた。
ではお姉様は
Beato hesitated. However, her question was clear.
違う。わらわは悪食島の悪霊などではない。
Okay, then what is she then? That's the thing.
わらわは六軒島の夜を支配する魔女ベアトリーチェである。どうしてこの島の太古の悪霊と同じ弱点を持つのかはわらわにもわからぬ。
苦手なのは蜘蛛の巣だけですか？
I mean, there's also the human toxin too, so I don't know.
エリカとやらが言うように金蔵の書斎のドアノブもダメだ。あのサソリの魔法陣はわらわを焼く。わらわにとって金蔵の書斎の扉を開けようとするのは真っ赤に焼けた蹄鉄を家中に拾うも同じこと。
Interesting analogy. I mean, just like in episode 2 is like touching the doorknob to Kinzo's study room is like, you know, putting your hand on an open stove that is already lit. So, same shit.
そなたはどうか。
サソリの魔法陣ですか？
The older sister snapped her fingers again. When she did, the surrounding scene bent and twisted, and they had suddenly moved to the place in front of Kinzo's study. And there was the doorknob engraved with the scorpion magic circle.
魔術を研究するものならば人的にも霊的にも隔絶された隠れ家が必須となる。
Oh no. Is the old Is the elder Beatrice gonna test the chick Be I should say elder Beato. Is the elder Beato testing the chick Beato whether you you're you can touch the doorknob or not? This because that's pretty funny.
金蔵が自らの書斎を閉ざし、このような魔除けを施したとしても不思議はない。そしてそれは困ったことに、わらわにもこうして効果がある。
She gently grasped the doorknob. As she did, a violent burning sound, unbelievably stronger than the one caused by the spiderweb, rang out.
お姉様、大丈夫ですか?
Fucking chick Beato just sitting there is like, oh shit. Her hand had been horribly burnt, and Beato couldn't help but avert her eyes. Yes, chick Beato's eyes are so pure to the point that she can't look. She doesn't want to look. She wanted to look away.
安心せよ。これしきすぐ治る。
Apparently, it would heal by itself if left alone. The older sister seemed to heal at an inhuman rate.
だがそなたはどうやら平気らしいな。
She timidly poked the doorknob. Nothing happened. Slowly, she touched it with her entire palm, but she felt nothing but a pleasantly cool sensation.
不思議だ。
Wait, what? Huh. That is fucking funny. So Check Beato asked is it true that spider webs are our natural enemy? And then the elder Beato was like, let's test it for ourselves. And that goes the same with the doorknob as well. It's like, does this magic ward can affect you as well? But apparently, with this chick Beato, she's like, that doorknob didn't feel a thing. Why is this?
そなたはわらわの分身であるにもかかわらず、わらわとは様々なものが異なっている。逆にドアノブに触れても平気ですが、お姉様のような火傷を負ったら、私は簡単には治らないと思います。まるで普通の人間のようであるな。
That's questionable.
はい。私自身、自分が魔女だとはちょっと信じきれていません。私にはお姉様のように魔法を使うこともできないし、不思議な火傷も、そしてすぐに傷を治すこともできません。お父様は私を偉大なる魔女の生まれ変わりだと信じてくださいましたが、私にはそれが信じられなくて。
He's like, yeah, right. There's no way.
そなたは何者なのか。
Just who the hell are you?
私はベアトリーチェ。お父様のために生まれてきました。お姉様は？わらわもまたベアトリーチェ。
But I am also Beatrice.
金蔵に魔法にて黄金を授け、その後も魂となって島に縛り付けられている体を失った魔女である。
Yeah, but that's weird though. The only difference is the attire and the hairstyle. Like one is different over the other. Which is weird because I'm sort of kind of trying to understand a bit of a difference here. It's like, okay, well, this elder Beatos knows everything more than the chick Beato, and she's taking her under her wing. So chick Beato is more of like, the apprentice, or not really apprentice, but a rookie.
私たちは一体何者なんでしょう。
And that is what I call an interesting question.
わらわと違い、そなたは体を持つ存在のように見える。
Being in possession of a body.
え、そうなんですか？あのエリカとやらの話を聞いて、わらわはふと思った。魔女であり魔法が使えるが体を持たぬわらわと、そして魔女であるが魔法は使えず肉の体を持つそなた。わらわたちはやがて一つになり、掛け合った部分を埋め合って本当のベアトリーチェとして完成されるのではないだろうか。
The true complete one at best. So one has the body and while the isn't? It seemed to make sense. Most of the Beatrices were missing something. If they became one, then they would surely be very close to the Beatrice that Battler desired.
試してみるか。え？手を出せ。
The older sister slowly raised her palm and held it out before Beato. The large burn from a second ago really had started to heal already.
わらわたちは一つになれるかもしれぬ。わらわも知りたい。そなたと一つになることで未来のわらわを知りたい。
Beato also raised her hands slowly, and the two hands touched. No words, but nothing happened. Perhaps this meant that while they were fated to become one eventually, that time had not yet come.
わらわにとって雲の巣が苦手なのは当たり前なこと。
Oh, I guess those two were I guess the elder Beato, the other one, is planning to see if they can fuse into one, but I guess that
しかしそなたはそれを知りもしなかった。同様にそなたは自分が生まれてきた理由をお父様のためだという。そのお父様というのはどうやら後宮バトラのことらしい。わらわも年に数度しか訪れぬ稀な客人である彼のことは知っているが、その稀な客人の彼とそなたというわらわにどのような接点があるのか理解できぬ。わらわたちは互いをもっと知るべきに違いない。そうですね。私たちは互いを知り合うことで本当に大切なことに至れる気がします。
That's the thing. So the chick Beato was revived by battle because they were able to possess the vessel from episode 3. What? So the other Beato is made by fucking Kinzo, which I don't know how that even works, but I'm pretty sure that's not how it goes. But I do question how, the past Beato, if anything.
その向こうにいるのが 一なる未来のベアトリーチェ。いや、それこそがわらわたちのあるべき正しい姿に違いない。
With their hands still joined, the two Beatrici swore to fill in the parts the other lacked and regained their single form. Bit by bit, Beato was walking down the path that led to the former Beatrici. Another episode wrapped up just like that. Time passed. Saturday, October 4th, 1986. It is 22:59 p.m. Magic of a different misinterpretation. Oh, are we back in the freaking dark room thing again? I could hear the eerie sound of wind and rain. Once again, I hazily regained consciousness on top of the bed. The finger that the witch had bitten off was attached to my hand. That's not to say that it was all an illusion, quote unquote, but my finger was now attached. After all, the pain and the teeth marks as though a witch had bitten it were still there. And yet the window which I had supposedly smashed had been fixed as though it had never been broken in the first place. How can I escape from this creepy room? Why am I locked up in this eerie room all alone? I want to get out. I have to get out. Please let me out. Oh boy. This is, you know what? This is just like the one of those escape a room series type of flash games, except it's narrated just like that. The door was sealed with a firm chain. Oh, we could just do this one just like that. I could open it a crack, but only enough to peek out into the corridor at best. Even getting just a fist through it would probably be hard. The window wouldn't budge either. It was no better than a barred prison window. Excuse me. The bathroom didn't even have a window. The only thing that could get out of there was the water that flowed out if you turned on the tap. No matter what I do, I can't think of a way out of here. While shut up in a place like this, I truly am a prisoner. What, you can't leave the bathtub running and maybe like flood the water out of it? I don't know. Unless someone comes from outside to save me, I won't be able to get out for all eternity. In that case, can't I just call for help? Yes. The tiny gap I can make in that door must exist so that I can call for help. But can I make the words come out? Earlier I tried to call out for help, but for some reason the words couldn't escape my mouth. Maybe I was just confused. I might have lost my voice in my haste and confusion. I'll open the door and make that crack appear one more time. The warm light of the hallway flowed in, making the darkness of the room stand out all the more. Though I couldn't hear any voices, I did feel something peaceful. I'm sure everyone's in the room at the other end of the hallway, chatting happily about something. If I can just call out, surely someone will come to save me. Holding back some indescribable fear, I tried yelling once more. Dot 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 and exclamation marks. But the result was the same. It was like trying to yell underwater. All I did was get out of breath, unable to call out in the slightest. Yeah, you're stuck in an echo chamber. Even though I could say as much as I wanted if I just grumbled to myself inside the room, whenever I tried to make my voice reach outside, I choked and was unable to say anything. I understand. My body isn't the only thing locked up in this eerie closed room. my voices too. Thinking that I could use some other kind of sound to call for help, I tried opening and closing the door violently, making the chain rattle. It does sound as though it's clanking noisily, but it's surely no good. Even this sound is being locked inside this closed room. No matter how harsh a sound I make, I'm sure it'll be quieter than a leaf falling by the time it reaches the other end of the corridor. I tried using the hateful chain that sealed the door to make a sound, to call for someone, but that only deepened my despair. Question mark. This chain? That's insane. Just a second ago, it was a stiff chain that looked like it might be used to seal a monster away, but at some point, it had transformed into a normal chain lock. This changes everything. Now I can just undo it from the inside. I tried to undo it, but the chain wasn't long enough for that while the door was still open a crack, and I couldn't get it off. Obviously. Calm down. Gulp. I gulped and calmly closed the door. Then, when I saw that the chain had slackened enough, I touched it with my finger to make sure. When I was little, I hated chains because I could never get them undone right. However, this was a long time ago. Now I can undo something like this. Anyone could. It's easy. Clank. I imagined the demon who locked me in this room, using this as a trap to give me hope, just to make me despair even more. I pushed those thoughts aside for the time being. I undid the chain lock, and the chain dangled there right before my eyes. Now, there's no lock sealing this door. Please, don't torment me anymore. Just open normally. Slowly, the door opened. When I closed the door to undo the chain, the warm light from the hallway got cut off. I opened it again. What if that warm light is gone this time? I wasn't even afraid of stuff like that. Oh god. However, that was just me over imagining things. Yeah, imagine if he just imagine the person trapped inside that room like finally like undo everything from the door, and then when that person opens it, now it opens to a different room, like a very nightmarish area that wasn't that isn't just a corridor. Slowly, quickly, no, I guess this is normal corridor. As the door let out an annoying creak, the exit from this cursed closed room finally opened. Where have oh my, where we lead to this time? This is just some regular mansion corridor. I did it! I did it! Even my cry of joy was strangled, but that doesn't matter anymore. All that matters is that I can get out. I poked my head out and looked left and right down the corridor. The warm corridor. You know, that's the thing. Like, if everyone was present in the mansion, well, except for Kinzo, that is, because Kinzo is missing. And I don't know who the person was that was trapped in there. The warm corridor. I could sense people having fun at the other end. Everyone's right there. Let's go, right now. Yep. If a jump scare of a sound effect. With it, what? Did we just hit a barrier or what the hell? At that moment, something cold and heartless crushed my throat. It was a, it was as though an iron loop had been fastened around my neck and pulled on hard from behind. No, not as though. Without my knowing, at some point, a thick metal collar had been fastened around my neck. When did this happen? When I turned around, I despaired even more. Out from the inner side of the door I had just opened, a thick chain had extended and attached itself to this collar I was wearing. I pulled on it, but it didn't even budge. When I shook it, the whole door creaked. What the hell? The chain that connected my collar was attached to the inner side of the door. Yes, the same vanishing chain that had secured the door a short while back had suddenly become a chain holding me in place. That's insane. That's insane. Damn it, what's going on here? I pulled with all my strength, trying to tear the whole door off, but I already knew from repeated experiments that it wouldn't even budge. I'm sure this chain will disappear once I go back inside the room, but it'll never let me leave that room. Though it had apparently turned back into a normal chain lock, nothing had actually changed. The chain lock, quote unquote, still bound me to that room. A lot of struggling. It's like, Tears flowing down my face, I pulled with all I had. It was completely useless. No matter what I did, I never tear it loose. And I wasn't even permitted to call out for help. I felt a confused anger at how the demon had mercilessly made me think that I'd escaped for just an instant. No matter how much I yelled, no voice came out, and no one on the other end of the corridor could hear me. Then I noticed an odd stain on the wall of the corridor. It wasn't a stain, there were letters, traced out by a finger that had been covered in red paint. What? Those letters, which looked like they'd been drawn in blood, answered my biggest question. The chain lock must be set. You're allowed to unset it, but it must then be reset. Unless it is set, this exit of yours will be unusable. I instantly understood the meaning of that ominous message. Then I tried it out and understood completely. When I returned to the room and reset the chain lock, the collar around my neck disappeared. When I undid the chain lock again, that heavy feeling around my neck returned. In other words, I cannot leave this room while the chain lock is still unset. In that case, why don't I just set the chain while outside the room? I undid the chain one more time. The collar and chain appeared around my neck again. I stepped out into the corridor and closed the door behind me, leaving only the slightest of cracks. I stuck my hand through that crack, grabbed the undangling chain, and tried to reset it somehow. Damn it! Even though it was easy to do from the inside, why is it so hard to do it from the outside? The gap needed to be wide if I wanted to manipulate the chain well. Oh, I see. That person is trying to, play around with that sort of puzzle thing. That's the thing, right? Like, so the chain can be undone inside, but when that person decides to undo it from the inside the room, then you also get the chain like lashed on to yourself. So you can't escape from the room. Interesting closed door puzzle. The gap needed to be wide if I wanted to manipulate the chain well. However, that made the chain too short to reach. To make the chain reach just a bit further, I'd have to close the door a little bit more. But if I do that, there won't even be enough of a gap to fit my hand in. Of course, that was perfectly natural. Chain locks are made to be used from the inside. They'd be completely pointless if you could set and unset them from the outside. That's why the length of the chain is specially chosen, to prevent anyone from setting or unsetting it from the outside. Then, can I use some kind of hard and thin tool? If the gap of the door is just a finger's width across, that's more than enough for the chain to reach. If I could just bend a wire hanger so that it fits through the crack, I'd work the chain with that. That's right. There's a closet just to the side of the door. Could there be some hangers in there? Found one. Oh, thank God. A single cheap-looking hanger, like one you might find in a laundry room, was hanging there. Really? I'm pretty sure that when I last looked a short while ago, nothing like this was in the closet. Who cares? Quickly, quickly! I twisted the wire hanger, bending the end with the tip around. I formed a loop at the end to grab at things with, making for sort of a burglar's tool. I then dashed out into the corridor again and closed the door almost as far as it would go. My wrist could never pass through this. However, if I closed it this much, the chain should have extra length to spare. This crack is large enough for me to stick the hanger through. Now it's just a matter of technique. If I keep trying, I'll definitely be able to do it eventually. I'm certain of it. It's harder than it looks, but the chain is long enough. It isn't impossible. I had finally gotten my hands on the one way to escape. Well, better to chance it than not try it, right? It's hard, yes, but it was theoretically possible. If it's possible, I'll be able to get out. I'll be able to escape from here. What? At that moment, I felt a heavy weight on the far side of the door. It felt as though someone inside the room had pressed their forehead against the door and was drawing closer, and she, the witch, had laughed. Then, I felt a powerful and strange force on the wire hanger. Is she trying to grab it away from me? Like, right? Like hell I'll let go. Like hell I'll let my one key out of here get stolen while my guard's down. Fortunately, I stuck my wrist through it so that I wouldn't drop it if my hand got tired. You won't be able to snatch this out of my hands. Let me guess. This is Burn Castle preventing the person's escape. The witch on the other side of the door laughed at me. Then I noticed something weird. I looked at my left hand, which I had pressed against the door to hold it in place. And between the fingers of that hand, I could see something red. They were red letters. I realized immediately. At some point in time, even more bloody letters had been drawn on the door, and my left hand had been covering them up. Still fighting against the vice-like strength of the witch beyond the door, I moved my left hand to the side. Where that hand had been, bloody letters had indeed been drawn, and there, as though someone had predicted that I struggled this way from the very beginning, was a message from the witch to me. It is impossible to set or unset the chain lock from the outside by any means. Within red, that is. All tricks done from the corridor had been sealed by the red letters. But no way. There's some pipsqueak rat giggling in there as well. There was suddenly a terrible sound, and the force pulling on the hanger was suddenly released. Then, when I pulled it out and looked, I lost all hope. As though it had been hit by the acid of the room's darkness, the tip of the hanger had burnt and bubbled and melted off. Now it's pitifully short. This can't be used for anything. It would be useless to search for a substitute. All schemes to set the chain from the outside have been prevented. Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it! I threw the remnants of the wire hanger against the floor, faced the hallway filled with warm light, and called for help. However, I just choked, unable to speak at all. Everyone's just down the corridor, and everything's peaceful there. I can't hear their voices, but I know. I'm sure they're all having a good time playing cards. Please, someone notice. Someone save me. Uh, this time, it wasn't the witch's voice. It was the happy voices of everyone else, which I could hear coming from the other end of the hallway. Someone, come over here and save me! The hell is this? Why can I not escape this hell? This boring ass room with evil shit.
悪いね。これで上がりだ。
George slammed his last card down, ending the game with his victory once again. Everyone gasped in unison. The cousin room was filled with laughter as they enjoyed their card game.
うわー、やっぱりジョージの兄貴が持ってたか。憎い。スペードの6が憎い。
And you guys sure having a good time there.
バートラのダイヤの8もエグかったぜ。ああ、もう悔しい。
Please don't do that.
ジョージお兄ちゃんすごい、また勝った。
そうだよ。また僕たちの勝ちだね。
Can't believe this man is so good at card games. It's insane. Maria couldn't really hold her own in an all-out battle, so she had teamed up with George, which was why she was celebrating his victory.
乾杯です。
Canon winced and let his cards drop to the table. The game of sevens between Canon and the cousins had been a fierce battle. Normally, they would take things easy since Maria was there, so this sort of game was rare. Canon had started taking the game seriously, unwilling to lose, so George and Battler had responded and the battle had grown fierce. Unlike Battler, who was carefree enough to enjoy it whether he won or lost, Canon's mood changed drastically with every victory and defeat. It was less of a dislike for losing and more that he just wasn't used to playing. He wasn't used to trading a few wins and losses with his opponents. So he took even losses within the game seriously. Since he had resolved to win and had unfortunately challenged the veteran players George and Battler, the result was plain to see. As Canon slumped his shoulders, Jessica slapped him on the back.
惜しかった惜しかった。でも楽しいぜ。
Excuse me.
本気で戦うのはね。
Well, I mean, it's just a game, right? Could have been worse.
本気だろうとそうでなかろうと、結果が負けでは何の意味も。
It's not all about losing. It's the participation that matters, damn it.
とんでもない。本気で戦った結果の負けならすがすがしいもんだぜ。いい加減に戦っての負けじゃ、本気出してたら勝ってたうんぬんで未練タラタラでしょ。
Okay, it's not about losing. It's all about the determination, damn it.
そうだな。全力を尽くしたやつは言い訳しない。そして結果に関わらず爽やかなもんさ。そうだね。そしてそういう人間が一番怖いのさ。そこから必ず何かを学び成長するからね。
I'm really curious who the person is trying to escape the room. I mean, I couldn't. Well, all of the Ushiromiya fans present. I'm sure everyone's having a good time. It's hinting something. So it could be Angie. It could be like maybe one of the Be anyone. I can't really think of anyone else other than, I guess, the reader is trapped in that freaking closed room, but like myself, I wouldn't be surprised.
確かに僕は臆病だから何も学ばなかった。だから未だに未熟なんだ。
Being new into video game is all about the learning process when it comes to losing. I am furniture, so any dreams I might have are pointless, because he'd rigidly believed that. He distanced himself from everything, shutting himself away. However, during that same time, Shannon had undergone many life adventures. Now her hand was resting on the door, separating furniture and humans. The old Canon would only have seen this card game as a way to pass the time. However, the new Canon was now capable of gaining something new from this experience. That's probably what it means to grow. Furniture does nothing but rot with the passage of time. The ability to grow is a privilege given only to humans. True!
一緒に遊んでくれてありがとう。西とか書いたり忙しかったんだろ。付き合ってくれて本当にサンキューだぜ。
いいえ、僕も楽しかったです。いえ、これが楽しいことなんだって理解できました。僕を無理に誘ってくれてありがとうございます。
私たちはさ、もっともっといろいろなことに挑戦していこう。そして君が知らなかったものを探しに行こう。それでさっきの話だけどさ、ギターとか興味ない？いや、別に無理にとは言わないけど、その。
Oh, this is actually a bit off. Now, this is why two shy beings are trying to become lovebirds.
きっと難しいでしょうね。
Huh. Got a different look on his face this time.
まあね。でもさ、そこは丁寧に教えるし、練習は私も付き合うから。まあ言うほど私もうまくないんだけどね。
At first, Canon was scared that he might make a complete fool of himself if he touched a musical instrument for the first time in his life. After all, he knew that screwing up like that would make him feel bad. However, Canon was starting to learn.
初めてで下手なのは当たり前です。
You know what the title says? It's all about the learning process.
それから逃げてたら永遠に何も学べない。何にも至れない。
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you're gonna give up on the first thing straight away, what's the point? What's the fuck's the point of learning?
そうさ。だからこそ人は上達を実感して面白くなるんじゃねえかよ。
I mean, unless if it's not your thing, then sure, but not everyone wants to learn everything.
私だって最初はさ、右手と左手が別々に動くってだけでもう全然ダメだったぜ。でも少しずつコツが分かってくるとさ、だんだん当たり前になってきて。
僕もその境地に至りたいです。そのための道の一つにお嬢様との音楽活動があるなら、ぜひご一緒させてください。
本当に？
Yes, really.
はい。きっと最初は不出来でお嬢様を失望させてしまうこともあるでしょう。でも本気でやっての失敗だったら それは清々しいものに違いないと。さっきお嬢様たちに教わりましたから。
照れるぜ。
お嬢様のことをもっと好きになりました。あなたは太陽のような人なのに、僕が目を背けていたから、こんなにもずっと近くにいたのにそれに気づけなかった。
じゃあもっと好きになってもらえるように頑張っちゃうぜ。いや
Eh, we're about over an hour in. I think this is good enough to stop it from here. But yeah, what have we learned from today other than, you know, the tale, fuck, I forgot the Japanese pronunciation. It's the something of the evil spirits in Golden Wish Beatrici, and then see whether it relates to the same thing. If two Beatos combine into one, and there's that, and then I still trying to think of who was the character that is trapped in the room. That's one of the things I still have to. That is kind of, I'm curious, that is wrapped up in my mind. And then we got, you know, a bit more different love developments between Jessica and Kenna. Yeah, other than that, this is the thing though, right? I feel like, you know, Battlers, I feel like the 6th episode of Tale seems to be a bit more heartwarming than before, but I get the feeling all that heartwarming shit is gonna be like, you know, ruined by someone that is like spitefully driven later on. So that's what I think. So we'll continue more of this later. With that said, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Have a good one.